Welcome to Ippodhu Live. Today we are joined by Jael from London this evening. She is an energy healer. She is going to talk to us about nurturing relationships through this pandemic. She is joining us all the way from London. I'm very grateful to her for having joined us this evening, because we are going through a pandemic when life and work collide constantly. Nurturing relationships and being mindful of relationships has become all the more important than ever before. So Jael, welcome to the show. Now I want you to start with a prayer, a meditation, which is your typical, usual style for the audience. And then we can start with your journey, and then we can go on to talk about nurturing relationships through the pandemic. Now it's your turn to connect with the audience through your meditation.
Yes. Hello. Hi, Pierre. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for making me part of this beautiful movement and for this initiative of love and light to spread the joy around the world and from heart to heart. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much. And yes, as you said, I am an energy healer and I'm here at the service of light. And yes, we will now begin with a beautiful meditation to connect and open up our hearts so that we can enhance this moment together, connecting heart to heart and bringing the light into us. So first, let's take a deep breath in. And let's ground our feet. Let's just ground ourselves into the ground, into the earth. And let's see our hearts are opening up. Let's take another deep breath in. And yes, let's ground ourselves in love and in light, connecting to our hearts. And from our hearts, let's connect to the heart of the planet Earth and the heart of the sun and the heart of the cosmos itself. The light that's within me, the light that's within us, the reasons that showed us why we were born and what are we made of, the beauty of who we are. Let's connect together and send beautiful pink light around the globe from our hearts to our family members, to our pets, to our neighbors, to the trees, to the plants, to accelerate the healing of the planet, to the animals, and to all the beings of light that are helping us in this crucial moment of transition for humanity. And now let's connect to our own heart, to the relationship that we have with our own selves, and the relationship that we now have with our husbands, our partners, our colleagues, our family members, our pets, and the most important one, with our own selves. And let's take another deep breath in. And let's set an intention of shining out our light, bringing in the conscious process of just shining the light. We were made in light, we are light, and that's where we go. In light, through light, with light. We connect with the planet Earth, And let's ground ourselves once again. And let's cover ourselves with white light all around us. And from our hearts, let's speak today in light. Take another deep breath in. And very gently come back into this beautiful session slowly. Okay, we're back.
Thank you. Thank you, Jael. This is an amazing prayer. This is a beautiful prayer that you started the session with. Now, I see that you call yourself an Empaths breakthrough coach. Are you an empath yourself? And
Yeah.
for the audience, empaths are highly sensitive people, who empathize and who feel the energy and the emotions of others, which is a great gift of God, I think. And talk about why do you call yourself an empaths breakthrough coach, and what do you do with it, and what is so unique about it? Now, for anybody who is listening, this might have a great connect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pierre. Yes, okay, so yes, I am an empath. An empath is a person, as you said, who is highly sensitive, a person who can not only perceive the emotions and the sensations, bodily sensations, physical sensations of other people or animals or places around us, right? But also someone who has the ability to step into the reality of other people. And sometimes when we don't know who we are, when we don't know where we're going and what we want in life, we might take the reality of other people and we might make it our own. You see? So an empath is someone who can empathize, but also someone who can be in someone else's reality and think that they are, that's their own reality, for example. So why I became an empaths breakthrough coach was because I understood this in me. I thought I suffered actually for many, many years. In fact, I was very suicidal for most of my life because I was perceiving so much sorrow and sadness and anger around me. And I was reflecting all of that. And I thought I was that person. I didn't realize that the environment in which I was reflecting all of that from all the people, from all the circumstances around us. And when I came into my own power, I realized that I had a lot to give, a lot to share from my heart. So that was a breakthrough for me. I didn't want to kill myself anymore. I was ready to live my life from the heart, and I was able to see other people and learn from them as well. So that was my breakthrough here. Yeah.
Okay. This is what we are going through now is quite unprecedented. The pandemic, a pandemic which is spreading through the breath and speech of people. Now you have this constant guilt of not even being able to pay the last respects to your dear ones. Because what we tell our dearest ones is that I will be with you, when you are in the bed, when you are suffering. Now, here is a moment in the story of human species that you cannot keep up that promise, because you may not be able to be present when your dearest person is leaving the planet. Now, think of this moment. This is something, which uh, makes us think more deeply about our life, more about our death, and particularly, when you contemplate death, life becomes all the more meaningful, all the more beautiful. and talk about this moment in the story of human species, and what is it doing to every one of us.
Well, this is a very important topic here because it's happening, as you said, it's global. It's happening to all of us. And it could be that the person that you have at home, you have it for a while and you don't know for how long you have it. And everyone becomes precious around you. All your relationships become precious at the moment. And when someone that's so close, so dear to you dies, and you cannot even say goodbye, you cannot say your last goodbye to that person, it can be definitely quite challenging and heartbreaking even, right? Because there's no way for us to break that connection in a way that we're used to. So I can understand that, and it can be quite sad for most of us. Not just the fact that we are going through the pandemic, but the fact that we are dealing with this situation now, how to say goodbye to someone that, is no longer with you and you wanted to actually say it in a different way. But there's one very important thing that I think it's so crucial to bring to our consciousness, to our awareness, and that is we're light, we're energy, we are love, and we can always connect through that love. Love never dies. Love is never wasted, ever. And we can connect with our dear loved ones in a way from our hearts that actually connects us to the memories of when we're happy with them and celebrate their life in the way that we think they could have appreciated it. So from my heart, what I could say, it's definitely super challenging these times right now, of course. But if there's a way for you to make peace with someone that's no longer with you, then celebrate in the best way you can the life of that person. Honor the memory of that person through bringing light into your consciousness. Become more aware of your precious relationship, first and foremost, with you, with yourself. That would be a great way to honor our planet, honor our loved ones. Yes.
Yeah, that's quite an amazing way of you're putting it quite nicely. And talking about relationships through this pandemic, yeah, we know that most of the population across the globe, they work from home. They never thought that they would be working from home. Many companies are giving up on their offices, and you have a situation where work and life collide with each other constantly, and now you have more of your spouses and other relatives living close to you more than ever before. This challenge of nurturing relationships, because earlier people were talking about burning out in their work. People were talking about not having time for the family. Now that you have a God-given situation when now you can do both. It's a situation which has changed your life upside down. So this situation is quite challenging for many people. You have been as an energy healer coming across people, coming into contact with many people who have those challenges. Tell me some stories, which you could solve, and some you are still handling. Talk about some of those stories.
Okay, yes, of course. And so first of all, it is true that this global situation has put so many people in circumstances that we never thought were possible. Yes, we were working to exhaustion before, and yes, we were super busy all the time. But having that space between spouses, as you have referred to, or even family members living in the same home, was giving us that piece of freedom, let's just say. And now that we are all at home, that we need to share more and more time together, and there's no way to go out, especially when we are in lockdown, then the question is, how can I avoid trouble? How can I communicate in a way that actually I feel it's authentic for me? Yes, that's honest. And also, how can I communicate my needs? And how can I do it in a way that's not demanding or pushing or causing conflict? And how can I do that in a way that you can listen, that you're ready to listen without feeling threatened, without having to protect yourself? So the way that I found really is helping people all around the world, because this is something that we as coaches, we try to look for initiatives. We really try to always update all our knowledge. And this is crucial because before the pandemic, there was a different kind of coaching, right? A coaching that tried to look for the freedom so people could have more time. Now people have more time, but we're all together, right? So we need to approach things in a different way. So the first thing that I would suggest is treat yourself kindly. You are at the center of everything that's happening in your life. If you treat yourself kindly, if you're patient and compassionate with yourself, you're going to eventually show that to everyone around you. Because you see, when we start to have a very hard relationship with ourselves and we feel guilty because of it, we start treating other people in the same manner, in the same way. And when we're attacking other people around us because of that lack of connection, I don't know who you are. I know that you threaten me. I know that I'm in danger when I'm around you, because we continue to have conflict, because we're arguing. And so people don't want to have that connection anymore. People don't want to have sex. People don't want to have intimacy. People don't want to be honest because they feel threatened constantly. So how can we change that? Well, we could change that through connection. How can I connect from my heart and be authentic, be honest, and without demanding, declare my needs to you? How can I make my needs to you more visual, more clear, and not as demanding, not causing so much conflict? So the best thing to do, always connect with your heart. Always. If the person is having a rough day, it's better to give some space and learn. The first thing is that if you're a woman and if you're operating from your female mode, if your partner is a man operating from his masculine side, there are ways that you can communicate. Languages are different. What's happening is that we think that we're all equal, and we're equal in love, we're equal in light, but we are not gender equal. That doesn't exist. We can see the problems now. Men understand and process information in a different way, and women too. And if I am a woman who is operating from a masculine side, I will understand things better if someone communicates to me in that way. So to the point, really to the point, if you have a question for your husband, for your partner, just go to the point. Tell the person what you want, what you need, without demanding, and learn to appreciate. Because for men, or for a person who's operating from the masculine side, appreciation, validation is like water. You nourish that person wants to do a lot more for you when you communicate from your heart and you appreciate. It's like a plant. Imagine a plant that's dying. So the water will nourish that person. So be kind, appreciate, validate every effort, because that's crucial, that's important. And also for men, when women want you to be around, then just be for them. Just be there with them. This is so crucial and so important. Men don't know the effects that having a menstrual period does to women, especially around the full moon. And if you do some research, you will notice when are the more breakups that happen, the more divorces, the more conflict, even in your own home with your own partner. Find out when is her period, find out when is the full moon, and you will understand what's happening. Because on top of all the pressure that we have now globally, we as women don't stop having our periods. And that creates a hormonal imbalance for us as well. We don't mean to be bad, and men also don't mean to be bad. We're not taking sides here, but we're trying to create a communication that's more conscious and more compassionate and actually truthful, authentic, understanding our limitations and bringing the best of us to connect from heart to heart. I hope I have answered your question, Pierre.
Yeah, you answered, in fact, very elaborately, particularly bringing in the nuances of gender. Also, you brought in the need for more authentic communication to nurture relationships. More beautifully, you said it's like nourishing plants. Nourishing relationships is like nourishing plants. That brings me to the current practice of yours, which is as an energy healer, from helping empaths, highly sensitive persons, to energy healing. There is a clear pathway. That it's about the energy flows. There is a lot of in the Eastern traditions also. There is a great conversations about in the tantric tradition also this idea of energy being always coming from the divine, and you have to preserve it, you have to nurture it, you have to care for it, you have to love it, you have to appreciate it, recognize it. That kind of conversation is now spreading across the globe, across the planet, particularly in the context of the pandemic as well. So talk about this journey as an energy healer and how you are helping people with this idea of energy healing. Talk about that, Jael.
Okay, thank you. Well, yes, so energy healing, that's a beautiful, two beautiful words actually. So energy is everything. We're made of light, we're made of energy. Energy contains information, data, vibration, sound, and we can activate it within us, within our atoms, within our organs. They are conscious beings living in us, ready to do and create the life that we want actually. It's just that we don't have this connection with ourselves. This is not normal. We don't go to school to learn that we are energy, that we are light, right? It's very different what we've been taught, but this is the time for us to consciously acknowledge and validate the efforts of every person to contribute to peace, to contribute to light. And this is what energy healing is doing right now in the planet, right? So we as energy healers, in fact, we all do it. We all, humanity, all of us, we have energy and we have the ability to wish someone well. That is energy healing. And my path since I was a child is that I discovered that if I put my hands in a certain way, or if I wished something with all my heart, and I put myself in the position of maybe a person that I wanted to help because I needed to understand the symptoms of that person so I could help that person better. It actually happened. So we all have these abilities and we all need to start trusting and believing in ourselves, which is why this conversation that we're having right now here with Pierre is all about trusting in ourselves, connecting with our hearts, and opening up to this possibility of truly empowering ourselves. Energy healing is about the journey that you do yourself when you want something to change in life. And you can start with a plant, you can start with a pet, you can start with your own hand and give yourself the love that you need in that specific part of your body. Being an energy healer is just about understanding the logics, the mathematics behind what's happening to the body, the current, the electrical current, the electricity, everything that is happening in your body, how the atoms are behaving to create that reality in that specific organ, in that specific person or specific situation. We can all heal it when we connect from our hearts and give that energy, program that energy so that it can reach people throughout time and space. And when we believe it's possible, when we use our imagination, we discover what's true freedom, because freedom is imagination. That's why freedom is something that we always want to reach for, because on this planet, we don't talk so much about imagination. That's something that kids do, children do. We don't do that as grown-ups, right? But when we imagine, we create. So I just give you that opportunity now. Please take it. Use your imagination to believe that you can heal yourself, to believe that you can heal someone, to connect with your loved ones, even when they have passed. You can do it. Yes.
Okay, one last thing. This is from your personal story. Now, you talked about how you are even sensitive to the animals around you, how you are being, throughout this conversation, you talk about pets, how you are connected to all life around you, pets, plants, and even during certain natural situations, we find that the animals get the first message even before we perceive it.
Yes.
Yeah, they get the message from nature first. And then by the time we realize they have already taken shelter in certain situations, like in some of the natural situations that are recorded across human history. So how do you actually relate to the animals, and what is it that they are teaching you, they're telling you in this pandemic?
Yes, so that's a beautiful question. Okay, so all right, so you have asked me a very personal question, and I will answer it in the best way I can from my perspective, instead of what could be done, if we all connect. So since I was a child, I could see animals. I could see the spirits of animals that were already dead. And I could tell that there was life after life. And that was beautiful, because when you understand that there's nothing to be afraid of, that actually there's more light after this life, so you get empowered and encouraged. And as you have well said, Pierre, animals are super sensitive to nature. And what they do is that they have this great connection that for them, life goes on no matter what. And yes, indeed, they seek shelter when they know that something's going to happen. If there's a tsunami, if there's an earthquake, if there's something that's going to happen, they will be the first to know when is the best time to do it. And because we're so disconnected, we don't perceive this. But the earth itself, it's giving you all the signals. In fact, the trees, one of the things that you will notice the most when something's going to happen that will alter your life as a person, as an individual, is that the plants within your environment will try to send you messages through movement, through color, through texture, and even smell. Sometimes even through dreams. So this connection is something that we all have, but we don't validate it. Animals do the same. Animals sometimes will prevent you from going places because they know that maybe if you go, then there's not a good or pleasurable experience for you. Right? We have seen these, we call them miracles, but animals are very connected to the physical reality and also nature. So my experience has always been like that, from the heart. Animals are always communicating love. And right now in this pandemic, they are uniting, especially the whales, for example. They are uniting and they are singing songs of love. And they are asking us to do this as well. Focus on the very positive that you want as an individual to happen to you. Focus on light. Put light in your heart. Create forgiveness. Create space. Declutter your heart. Declutter your mind, your brain from past experiences that bring you sadness. Throw away. Don't recycle sadness. Throw away all of that. Bring clarity into your life. Bring compassion. That's the song that the whales are singing all the time. Love, love, harmony. Love and harmony all the time. And it's beautiful. If you connect to your heart, you will hear, you will see, you will vibrate with the reality of your animals, the ones that belong to your consciousness, the ones that belong to your clan. Yes. Right.
Thank you. This is a great conversation, Jael, because now I can see that as an empath, you are able to see that the planet is a beautiful painting. You see all the symmetries, all the harmony that is around us. That is a great capacity. That is a God-given ability to observe nature very closely and learn from it. Take the energy from nature. This is an amazing, the interview itself is an amazing experience. Thank you for your time. Yeah, thank you so very much. God bless. I'll be in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pierre. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.